Hey guys, Amazing Ampharos here, back with part 23 of my Final Fantasy IV The Afterlife playthrough. In this segment, I'm going to be starting off Edge's tale, which is a somewhat uniquely structured tale. I'm going to start by following side stories for each of these four guys who are Edge's apprentices, and then they all come together for a finale. Start off with a brief little story section revolving around Ed. And my main thought process the entire time is that I really need to optimize for the later tales, because all these characters have a common inventory. Ed starts with much better equipment than all of his apprentices, and he has access to the Eblon shop, which is a much better shop than any of the shops they get. We don't have access to very many resources here, just because we haven't had a chance to fight any encounters or loot any dungeons, but we can actually help ourselves out quite a bit. In terms of the story here, it basically boils down to the fact that these four really bullied Edge into training them, because they're really interested in carrying on Eblon's ninjutsu tradition, whereas Edge believes everyone should just be enjoying the good times. While Edge's philosophy might have made them enjoy life a little more up until now, we're going to be thankful that they were so pushy by the time things were done. Sadly, this is really just about the only time we get to enjoy this guy. He was so amusing in the first game, and it seems as though Age hasn't dulled his hyper nature. Though Edge seems to have mellowed out quite a bit, actually. Edge is actually really amusing in this game, because he's still the same kind of goofy guy he was, but he's a lot more calm about things. And some of the conclusions he reaches about what's going on are just a little bit ridiculous. I guess the best way to put it would be, Edge is a very genre-savvy character. And that passage just leads up to Edge's bedroom, which is unfortunately not a useful place for us. Oops. I guess it really shouldn't be surprising that the Ninja Castle is a little more difficult to navigate than the other castles. So I just got a couple of really low-ranking items, and I'm going to just sell those really low-ranking status items, so I can afford 2 emergency exits. Emergency exit is an item version of the spell teleport, which lets me escape from dungeons whenever I want, which will really help his apprentices out in a minute. Likewise, I fully de-equipped Edge because before he has to do anything, all of his apprentices have to do their work. As much as Edge doesn't seem to want to send them to do anything, they're going to get their way. And Edge's superior equipment is going to be passed around and help all of them out as they go. So I'm going to have a bit of a tactical decision to deal with them, because you can do their 4 missions in any order, but the lunar phase shifts every time you go to a new mission. And since there's a common inventory, what you get with one character passes over to the next. I think I've picked what's overall close to the best order. That'll let me complete all 4 missions with relative ease. You do actually have the option of failing the missions. If you get yourself killed, or in Gekkou's mission, take a very wrong decision in a cutscene, then you can die with the apprentice, but then the apprentice is lost to you forever. They won't rejoin Edge in the finale, and they will not be available in the final tale. So I'm going to start off with Gekkou. Gekkou is the shortest and easiest mission, which makes it a good one to start with. He has no forced encounter at the end, just a very brief, easy dungeon he has to navigate. He's down at the impact crater between Domstian and Kabul, and he's going to find out what happened to those monks that Yang found the grave for. Like the monks are being really pushy with the mysterious girl, and she's just not going to have it. For Gekkou himself, I'm going to make him look like a really bad character. He's actually pretty good. He joins at a really low level in this tale, and he doesn't really get any opportunity to grow. But if you do manage to level him up, he ends up having one of the highest HP totals in the game. His stats across the board are pretty good. Unfortunately, there are no shields for him to acquire in Edge's tale, so he'll always be a little frail. And he's just always going to be behind. I need some enemies that are a little more experienced. Really, the only efficient way to fight at this early stage is by relying on the ninjutsu. But Gekkou is a really shallow MP. So I really have to be smart in order to reach level 12. If I had absolutely perfect encounters, it would be possible to hit level 13. But that's not really very likely. While 10 versus 12 might not seem like that big of a deal, when we get to the challenge mode, it is the difference between dying in one hit or two. It really is important. And that was not a very good shot. But we're now spent in terms of NP, so it's time to run from every battle. So I will say some more stuff about how Gekkou actually works as a character. Like all the apprentices, his moveset largely consists of a subset of what Edge can. In Gekkou's case, he gets the fire side of Edge's ninjutsu. And he has Shuriken, which is like Edge's throw command, but instead of being able to throw weapons of your choosing, you can only throw the Shuriken. It's still pretty useful, as by and large the shurikens were the best things to throw. But there's just not going to be a lot of opportunity to take advantage of it with its tail. Largely because Edge's tail has no boss fight. Why am I going this way? There's nothing this way. There's a save point, but why would I want to do something like that? Some encounter rate Gekko's running into. The other three tails are really a lot more interesting, but I can only work with what I'm given. And I'm actually pretty happy to get this one out of the way. And since I'm about to finish this tail, I actually want to downgrade his equipment. He will be thrown straight into battle, so I don't want to leave him with nothing, but it's best to leave him pretty bare, since the other characters can use that armor much better than he can. And now we get a chance to make a really bad choice. The monks decide they're going to try to fight a totally hopeless battle with a mysterious girl to uphold their honor. Gekkou has to decide whether it would be honorable to join them. We're going to keep our promise to Edge and survive. If you choose to join, you get to fight the mysterious girl, and it is absolutely and completely unwinnable. But by sitting back and listening, Gekkou does get some good information, which he'll convey to Edge at some point in the future. And now we know who buried the monks. It was Gekkou who was watching them from the shadows and choosing to stay alive while they all sacrificed themselves to such a powerful enemy. But we're rolling over to full moon, and it's time to pick another tail. And I'm going to go with Izuyoi. Izuyoi is the female ninja, who, to be honest, is by far the worst character out of the four. But we're going to get some use out of her anyway. She has one of the longer missions, but she's given a lot of resources to handle it, so she should be okay. We're here spying on the women of Troy. With Izuyoi doing a pretty terrible job of blending in. But we're going to go down here and get that same elixir that was so obnoxious to give her talent. Not any easier with Izuyoi, but I still want an elixir, so here I go. Sorry about that. said it's an elixir, it's just an ether. But ethers actually will be important to us in the challenge dungeon. And they're very useful items in the final dungeon, for that matter. So, even though I'm going really far out of my way to get them, there is a reason. Let's say hi to Paladin. This is a really amusing conversation. Turns out Paladin's pretty observant, and maybe just a little bit sexist. And now we have to go through a difficult trial of standing still in cold water. I hope Izio can handle this. Well, we can handle it, but it looks like this is really hard for this other girl. After all, it is very cold water, so they need some rest. But we're a little less wimpy than the other girls, so we're just going to go through the water over here. It's not as good as stuff as Paladin got out of that grass, but it's still pretty decent. And now we need to find out some more about why Troy really wants more Ethon. So we're going to check out the Tower of Trials. Eventually. For now, I'm going to break this off, and I will join you next time as I get into the substance of the second stage.